Good morning. We are live. It's Wednesday. It's Hump Day. How are we? I wonder where the sunshine has gone, because for the first 6 weeks of lockdown, we have been blessed with essentially summertime. I wonder if that's it now and we don't get any more summer. So good morning. Thank you for joining me. Happy Hump Day. Oh God, how did you all sleep last night? I slept like balls last night. I really did. You know, when you have one of those nights where you're just awake and you're tossing and turning. It was one of those nights. How have you all slept? Please tell me so I can live vicariously through you all that you slept well. Who slept well? Who slept like a sack of shite? I want to know. Let me pop the comments on. If you are joining us live this morning, make sure you pop in live in the comments, comment along, ask us questions as we go. If you are watching on the replay, #replay, so that we know that we're grabbing people on the replay. It helps us, understand just how this is going. I think it's going well. So for those of us that haven't met before, my name is Dani Wallace and I am the Queen Bee. You are on the Queen Bee Dani page, either on Facebook or YouTube. Kerry couldn't sleep last night either. It wasn't just me. It was one of those really rough nights. Good morning, Emma. I love it. I know we've started when Emma's commented. We're here. Good morning, Tracy. How are you? Good morning, Laura. You're not calling it Hump Day anymore. What are we calling it, Tracy? Please tell me. What are we calling it? So it's talking about yesterday. Jessica, I see you backstage, by the way. Jessica's joined us in the backstage area. I had to press live. I had no internet connection when I woke up as well. So it was literally just 2 minutes ago. I just like, Wallace, you need to get out of bed and make sure that this is connected to the internet. So we just had to do like some really quick diagnostics and stuff. So that's why we're a couple of minutes late. Morning, I couldn't find you. Yeah, you couldn't find me because we had no internet. But we're here. We managed it. We were just a couple of minutes late. So Wallace fixed it. Of course he did. Good morning, Annie. Tracy is calling Hump Day that I'm feeling great day. Good. I'm glad. I'm going to live vicariously through you this morning. I'm still bringing the fire. I'm still bringing the energy. We are still having a show up Rise Up Day, because do you know what? Sometimes on the days where you feel it least, you've got to give it most. Good morning, Shell. Shell Showett joins us tomorrow as my guest, which is really exciting. We're going to be talking all things style. Sandra couldn't sleep either. So it wasn't just me. It wasn't just me. I was tossing and turning and all that sort of stuff. Good morning, Judith. Good morning, Laurie. She's loving the subtitles. I'm loving the subtitles. So what I decided to do was create this space where it looks like I'm on the telly, ensure and certain hope that one day someone will see it and go, do you know what, that Dani, well, she's all right. Let's bang her on telly. I'm making my own table to sit at. Tracy, go Wallace indeed. The sun is shining, positive vibes. Hannah Clifford, the sun is not shining here in Preston. Whereabouts in the world are you? Whereabouts in the world are you? For the rest of you, where are you watching from this morning? I want to know. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching? I'm in the northwest of England, in a little city called Preston. Where are you watching from? It is overcast and sodding miserable here. So we need to cheer ourselves up, or at least as a collective, I need to cheer up. I'm feeling very cantankerous this morning. This is me cantankerous, by the way. Can you even believe it? The sun's shining in North Wales for Tracy. Oh, fantastic. Okay, so I've got a lovely, lovely guest on this morning she's an absolute powerhouse in her field. So we've been hanging out on the internet for maybe since before Christmas. It's very cloudy and rainy in Hertfordshire. It's amazing. Cloudy in Scotland. Look, we're even getting the weather. I love this. I love that we're getting the weather. I'm in the Netherlands. No sun in the Netherlands. The weather is miserable in Shropshire. Here's why we don't have an official weather person here. We've got you guys. We're just going to stick our head out of the window. Look, there's the weather. So we're even bringing the weather to you this morning. Alexandria, I finally made it to these duet deals. Good morning. Right. So in lieu of being able to applaud our guest as she joins us this morning, what I would love you to do is hit the love button, hit the like button as I bring on ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, folks and everybody in between, Jessica Fleischer. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello, my darling. Your glasses are life, by the way.
Thank you.
I am here for your statement glasses this morning.
I've got that lovely wet hair just out the shower.
She is funky fresh. She is serving us a post-shower freshness this morning. I'm sharing bleary-eyed mum this morning.
No, it's good. I actually slept quite well. So
good.
I'm one of that. I'll help bring the energy. I don't know how you get so much energy in the morning. Every time I come on, you're here at 8 o'clock, like with this much energy, and I'm sat here with my coffee, like, oh, morning.
So you've got to bring it up with me this morning. You've got. I need you this morning.
I'll have energy. I've got coffee. Let's go.
I love it. So, Jess, what I'm going to do is because I need to this morning, I'm going to be putting my makeup on because I'm getting ready for my work day, which starts at 9 o'clock with my coaching calls. So I'm going to be putting my makeup on whilst we have a chat. You don't need to. It's okay. Look, you're beautiful. But yeah, I definitely need to pop the old wallpaper on. So I hope you don't mind me getting ready for the day whilst we chat this morning. But Jess, how did we meet? We've been hanging out online for a while.
I heard you on Robert Leet's podcast. That was how I found out about you. I don't know if you even know that, but then I started following you on Facebook. And
I love it.
Yeah.
I think you did. You messaged me, I think you dropped me a little message and said, I just heard you on this podcast.
Yes, I think I did. Because I remember it, actually. I was driving home and it was really late. It was in the evening.
Yeah.
And I just thought, do I do it now? This is a weird time to message someone. I was like, no, do it now or you won't bother. I was like, if you don't do it now, it's one of those things that you'll get up in the morning and then you'll get on with a new day. So I was like, no, I'm going to let this lady know she's amazing. Because she really impacted me on that drive, on that podcast. I was like, I love it. So
and do you know what? It's really lovely. Like, and Jessica, the more you speak in places, as I know you are, because I know you're raising your profile all the time, and you're doing such an incredible job of that. Like, I'm watching you, and seeing the things that you're doing, and the more you do it, you'll find the more people message you and go, God, it was really great to hear you. It was really great. I found it really inspiring. I'm just going to say good morning to my daughter. Give me 1 second. Good morning.
Oh. I'll say good morning too. Good morning,
Jessica's
Ivy.
saying good morning. Everyone say good morning to Ivy. Give us a kiss.
Can I go on your phone?
No, but Daddy's downstairs. All right. No, she's looking for him on bed. He's downstairs. You go and see Daddy. Go on. All right. Well, we'll see how long that lasts. I
will just say, if the dog kicks off, it'll be a delivery man or a neighbour or a dog. She's still down here because when I have meetings, I normally go shove her upstairs with my brother, but he's still in bed.
That's all right. But I mean, fine well that we are definitely a family and quarantine inclusive show. So if you've got the dog with you, if you've got your nan with you, if you've got anybody with you, it's all good. Everybody is welcome because do you know what? When you're getting ready for the day, that's what happens, isn't it? You're not just on your own. I wish I was just on your own getting ready for the day. It doesn't always happen. So you came across me on Robert Lee from RL Fitness, his podcast.
Yes.
And I was talking a little bit about my story. But I want to know, because these lot know all about my story, I want to know a little bit about yours. So tell us, Jess, what do you do? What do you do?
I coach kickboxing. So I run my business. I am Fighting Fit. And I coach kickboxing, specialising in working with women. So I create an environment for them to A, learn to kickbox, and B, a fun way to get into fitness. So my ideal client is somebody that hates exercise, because I hated exercise before I started kickboxing. So that's not an excuse. I'm not fit enough is not an excuse. Kickboxing gets you fit. And so my focus is on helping them look and feel fantastic. So I want to help them get fit and feel fantastic for it. So that's what I do.
Okay, so you didn't like exercise?
Nope, I hated it. I still don't really like it. I like eating. So I like eating and I like kickboxing. So kickboxing enables me to eat lots and keep fit, and it's fun. So
what made you choose kickboxing? Ivy's trying to show you that she had a hangnail last night and she cut it and it bled, and it's the first time she's seen herself bleed.
Well, Dad cut it.
Dad chopped it off, didn't he? Right. Yeah. I need you to go downstairs. Go see Daddy. Go say good morning.
Ow.
Oh, sorry. So why did you choose kickboxing?
I don't know. I liked it when I was a teenager, but I didn't have the confidence to go. So I was just like, I'm too fat, I'm too unfit.
Okay.
So I did it. So I put it off. My cousins did karate, and I was like, oh, karate looks boring, but kickboxing looks cool because it's more aggressive, I guess. And then my boyfriend got into it at the time when I was 18. And then it was my 19th birthday. I remember going along really hungover and watching it, and him like convincing me to give it a go the following week. And that was the beginning. I thought, okay, suck it up, go along. It was tough. I couldn't even do one press up. Like I was useless.
I was for that.
Useless but determined. So I carried on going. And that's where it began when I was 19.
So see, with any of the, I mean, I've got to get this right. Kickboxing is rooted in martial arts though, right?
Yeah.
So was it like the disciplines that come with learning kickboxing that you liked? Was it the fact that it is, well, it's contact sport, isn't it? You're kicking the shit out of each other. But was it the fact that
it doesn't have to be? I do coach women in a completely non-contact environment to begin with.
Like you could do boxercise, the same thing, right?
And you can do it on pads, and so you don't have to get punched in the face.
You have to fight.
That's most women's biggest fear is the contact side of it.
Like, don't touch the face, my darling. I spend a long time trying to make this look beautiful.
It doesn't have to be contact. It can be for fitness and fun.
Okay,
but so generally, yes, it is.
So really, what I'm kind of trying to get at is that when you are in a sport that is relatively aggressive, I mean, it is what it is.
It is, yeah.
It is an incredible channel for emotion, isn't it? It's an incredible channel, an incredible outlet for aggression, and actually, that is, whether we like it or not, is healthy, and we naturally feel that as humans, don't we?
Yeah.
So having a sport where we can channel that as an outlet is actually a really healthy thing to do for here as much as it is for here and for here, right?
Absolutely. I am all about promoting the mental health benefits. I'm not a specialist or a therapist or anything, but everybody that I coach, they all, like, the average woman, her goal is usually to lose weight, unfortunately. But after a few months of training, the goal usually mutates, transforms, and becomes to have more body confidence in my ability, to become better at a sport I love. It gives them something else to focus on. So they're no longer just trying to go to the gym to burn calories to follow a diet. They're realizing that their bodies are amazing and they are capable, and they can throw these punches and they can throw these kicks and they can achieve something. That feeling when you do your first grading and you get your first belt because you had to dedicate to something. So it does have the martial art element. And then it does also have the aggression side of it, to go in and physically punch something when you've had a bad day. That makes you feel great. Like if you're not feeling it and you don't want to go to the gym, and then you rock up anyway and you give it your best and you leave a sweaty mess, but you get that endorphin release. You get and you go home and you feel fantastic for it mentally. Like you feel like, yes, that was the perfect way to finish my day.
Yeah.
And
absolutely,
such big mental health improvements. I've had women who do see therapists for anxiety, and then they're recommended to come along and do training with me, and then they stop seeing a therapist in the end because they've improved their self-esteem so much through the combination of the two that they've turned their whole life around. It gives you a purpose as well.
See, this is it so let's talk mental health, because I don't hide from the fact that in the past I've suffered with my mental health, and it's an ongoing thing that once you become self-aware, it's an ongoing thing that you need to work on with yourself. So self-awareness is the first step towards recovery. And then finding coping mechanisms and ways to, understand what your triggers are, understand what your symptoms are and all that kind of stuff. Is that something that you'd experienced before coming into this field? It's all right if you haven't. Like, I'm not trying to probe you for like a really dark story. I'm not. But I'm interested. I find so many people that do get into sports have, as well as, we was talking about the emotional channel of actually that getting out that aggression is really healthy. It's in a healthy, in a safe way, in a controlled way. And you do feel great. After you wallop the shit out of something, you feel great afterwards. It's like screaming into a pillow, isn't it? It's just like kind of channeling that energy in a way that is really healthy. But Is that something that you'd experienced in particular, or is that just something that you've experienced, you know, from your clients and the people that you've been hanging out with?
Well, I was never diagnosed with anything. So in terms of mental health, I don't think I had ill health, but I did have extremely low self-esteem. And I still, to some degree, it's something I want to work on. And I will see a therapist for this, because I do think people should. And I didn't have the best childhood. And again, what you said, when you become aware of something, you realise maybe there was an issue there, but I didn't actually address it at the time.
Yeah, so you don't know what that is, do you?
Like I said, when I was 15 and I didn't have the confidence to go because I was too fat, for instance. Like, I look back at the photos, I hated the way I looked. And I wasn't that fat. I was fatter than I am now, but I wasn't. I look back and I was like, I look absolutely fine. Like, I look at it as 27-year-old me, I look at 15-year-old me, and I'm like, I remember the feelings that I had then. Yeah. Same when I was like, and then I lost a load of weight. And then when I did start, I was actually very skinny and weak. So instead of feeling I'm too fat, it was I'm pathetic. Like, so I had all negative things in my head stopping me doing things. And then with regards to actually fighting and even sparring, training with these men, because I was the only female. So
it's a very masculine sport, isn't it? Like,
I want to help other women. But it was terrifying. I wouldn't say I suffered with anxiety, but those feelings of anxiety before doing something really uncomfortable, like I'm going to get hit in the face by a man, this is scary.
It's not scary.
No. So and then fighting is the scariest thing in the world. You know that you've signed up, so all that fight or flight is going through your brain, and all I wanted to do was run away and cry. So I was like, maybe if I get hit by a car, I won't have to go and do it. Like, that went through my head on the way to my first fight. So I have felt anxiety and then it's the overcoming that fear. So once you've done it, like you have to overcome it, because you've got a room full of 500 people who have paid tickets to watch you fight in a nightclub. You can't just walk away from the ring. You have to get yourself in there, and you have to give it your best, and you have to fight. Someone's trying to knock you out. So it's tough. And obviously I don't expect everyone to fight. Most people never will. But for me personally, it was always about pushing myself to improve, about achieving that first press up, about that first sparring session, that first fight, and then eventually that first title belt. It's overcoming that self-doubt and that low self-esteem to achieve something. And then that builds up that positive mindset in that, no, I am capable. I can do that. And then you feel great for it.
So even if, you know, you would say that, like, for me, when I talk about mental health now, I don't necessarily talk about poor mental health, just mental health anyway. You have mental health like you have physical health. So you have good mental health just as well as you have good physical health. You can have poor physical health just like you can have poor mental health. Now, when you can see and draw analogies from that, you know, you've experienced that anxiety in a way that, you know, some people would feel that on a day-to-day. So even if somebody does talk to you about that kind of anxiety, you can still draw the feelings, because they're the same feelings. We just feel that when, you know, somebody is not necessarily very well, they feel them in day-to-day things, like going to the shop is like going to a fight.
My last fight, actually, I threw up before it. I think because of the whole business, I am fighting fit, and it was stressful training to fight whilst trying to set up a business, and the added pressure of, well, I won my first title fight. What if I don't win my second one? Like, what am I going to do? Like, and before it, I threw up. I actually physically threw up with nerves and had to overcome. My brother suffered with anxiety, and he used to throw up before leaving the house.
Right.
So and it is the same physical reaction to that fear. The only difference is mine was entirely rational.
It's the
I don't suffer with anxiety. I experienced anxiety for a very real reason. His was leaving the house. Like that social anxiety. So
actually, having felt it, you can still draw those analogies, because you can still say, like, you know, someone says to you, that's how I feel about looking in the mirror. That's how I feel when I, you know, think about my physical strength. I feel anxious about it. It makes me feel weird. It makes me feel sad. It makes me feel uneasy. Actually, you know what that physically feels like, even though you don't maybe necessarily feel it in that context. So on your profile picture, you are resplendent with some belts.
Yes.
What are those belts? Tell me, are they your belts?
They are my belts. I am a 2 times English kickboxing champion in 2 weight categories. So last year in July, I won the first one in the under 53 kilo category. And then I went up to the under 56 kilo category for the second one. So I am the current WRSA, World Ring Sport Association, English kickboxing champion.
You are, Jessica Fleischer. Yes, you are. Oh, amazing. So tell me, what was that journey like? So you started kickboxing for hobby?
Can you do me a massive favour? Can you go get my belts from the car?
Get the belts, get the belts, get the belts. Yes.
What a ledge. I think. I got a friend on a mission now. They're out in the park for a networking meeting with me and they stayed there.
Oh, what a ledge. Yeah. So you started out in like kickboxing as a source of getting fit, becoming stronger, going through the belts, going through that discipline, finding that you had a skill, finding that you was really good at it, finding that I
was awful. Really, I never ever thought
when you started, but you're an English champion now, so you have got a skill. You've dedicated yourself to learning it.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, I have now. Yeah.
So finally, in your passion, you developed a skill that you come on, you've got to be fucking good at it. You're not
eventually, I got good at it. I lost all my first fights and it was tough. And I will openly admit, I have always struggled with the mindset. Sometimes I look at my black belt and I think I'm not really good enough to be a black belt. Like other black belts are so good. And I'm like, wait, no, Jess, don't be a fucking moron.
That's you.
Like, you are a black belt. Like I still get those thoughts sometimes though. Like, oh, well, what if you're not that good? What about that thing that you're not very good at? And then I'm like, shut up. You are good. You can punch really hard and you've spent 8 years doing this.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, I mean, that's the same for anything, whether you're in sport, whether you're in business, whenever you're starting something new, is that you've got to expect to start shit. You can't, you wouldn't walk into that arena on that first day and then go and start winning belts. Unless you're somebody magical, for the most part, you've got to learn from not being very good. And I think that I find this all the time with lots of people that I come across that are starting new things. The fear is that, well, I'm not going to get it right. Well, no, you're not. You're not going to get it right straight away. You're not going to get it right in the first instance. Actually, you're going to get it wrong a lot.
And I am actually glad I had those tough fights to begin with, because my first fight, she'd had some boxing fights, but it was her second fight. But afterwards, she went on to win a world 2 times world medals in Italy. I was like, okay, I lost to a world champion for my first fight. Like
that is not. That's all right.
I have fought the best women in the country, and then finally I started winning. And I had a good time. And there we go. There's my belts.
Look at them. I love it.
Where are they? 2 of them. Where's the camera? That way.
See, if I'd won those belts, I would just be working them around the house. Now, are they designed for shoulders or are they designed for waist?
They're designed for the waist. Where's my... There we go. So they're designed for the waist. Let's get it on the waist.
Like they are...
They're really...
They're really
stiff.
Well, they're not designed. They aren't designed for parading around the house, are they? They're kind of. You do wear them for the pictures at the time, but then you don't kind of wear them around the house, do you? Or do you? We're wearing them around the house today, like you should. You'd be proud.
When I first won them.
Yeah.
The first time, all night. So like we were in the bar with my beer, like walking around with. There we go.
Look.
So it goes around the waist. I can't bother to do it up, but
that's all right. Don't. It's fine.
So it's World Ring Sport Association, and then champion.
Yes. And do you keep that forever and ever, or is that like when you're at school, you got to hand those back after a year?
You keep it forever, and then if you choose to defend it, you get another one. So when you become like a defending champion, you get given another belt.
All right. Okay. So they don't take it off you if you say you want to go and defend that title.
Yeah.
No. But is that a choice? So you say, right, okay, so I'm just going to keep proving that I'm the English champion, or could you just like stop now and then somebody else will?
And then it becomes a vacant title. Then they have to find 2 more people to fight for the vacant title.
Yeah.
But, so I fought for the vacant title for both of them, actually.
Got you.
Instead of fighting the current champion,
yeah,
if the champion vacates, or because often when the champion vacates, it's because they go to a higher level. So if I became British or European or world champion, the English gets vacated to give someone lower down, to work up the ranks. You can't challenge for the British if you don't already have the English.
And is that the next thing for you?
I don't know. This is a really difficult decision, and like I said,
you don't need to make that decision now with me. I'm not going to hold you to it.
I'm open about it. So it is possibly I might be done, because if I really want to focus on the business, there are only so many hours in a day, and the amount of hours it takes to train for a fight, it gives very little time for everything else.
Because it isn't just a full-time job, it's a full-time plus job, isn't it?
It is. And when I worked in a pub, I just made the sacrifices of, well, I don't need a lot of money anyway, so I'll just do sort of part-time hours to do full-time training, opposed to the other way around.
Yeah.
And with a business, I think that's one of the reasons I made myself I really struggled training for my last one, is because you can't give up everything that you're doing to promote your business to fight.
Because when you're working at that level, isn't it? And there's a tipping point, I think, with any sport and with anything that is considered a hobby that could be potentially a professional situation. Is that there's a tipping point where it's you putting everything in, and you've got to put everything else in as well, to everything around you, to becoming looked after by the sport. So where you're really reliant on your sponsorships, where you're reliant on, actually it becomes your your life, your paid life. And again, even then, it's got a shelf life on it. You know, athletes only have so long to perform. They only have so long to compete. So by building foundations with other businesses, you know, so being an English champion is an incredible, absolutely incredible achievement. And then maybe even looking around and having a look, say, okay, well, where do I need to lay my foundations? If that's not feasible, if that's not something that I can do, or it's not something I want to do, I can't invest that, like what's going to be on the other side of it, then choosing to lay these foundations elsewhere is not a unclever decision. You know what I mean? It's like it's a clever choice to make. So is that it? Was that pivotal moment? You were just like, you know what, I want to take this love of what I do, this knowledge of what I do, and then go and help people with it. Is that what you decided?
I've always preferred coaching to fighting. Like, that might sound weird because I'm a champion, I got there. But I started coaching the female-only kickboxing class 3 years ago. So I started coaching when I was a crap fighter. I was fighting. I've only ever fought to better myself, for myself, to prove I could do it, because I am quite competitive. But I can move that competitive trait that I have into business, and I have always loved helping other women improve. And so, for instance, if I don't get a world title, but I coach another woman, not even to get a world title, if I can coach someone else to fight even, or then I will, that brings me more pleasure than doing it myself. I think if I was to go back to fighting, there is part of me that really enjoys that challenge, really enjoys pushing myself above and beyond, harder than I've ever pushed before. But I can do that with my business and help other women instead of myself. I think if I fought for a higher title, the business would suffer. And I think it would be more for my own ego, more that pressure of, I need to prove I'm not just an English champion. It's like, I don't need to prove that to anybody.
So you are an English champion, my God. Like, you're already in the
my
top
head
2%.
That thinks maybe I should go higher. Maybe people would, if I become a world champion, then it's like, well, I don't need to be a world champion. I really don't. And the negative effect it would have on my life, I don't think it's worth it. It would be a silly decision to decide, actually, no, I need to prove this. And also, the higher up I go, the harder the competition is going to be, and the harder I need to train. And
then it will eat up like a huge chunk of your life, and that is a huge decision to make.
I mean, you have to do, I think for the average fight, you do at least 8 weeks and at least 15 hours of physical training. Plus there's all the recovery, plus all the travel, because we go across the country sparring people. Because if I'm fighting the best, I want to spar the best. So they're not all necessarily in my local area.
Just to keep that muscle memory going.
The
and what have
diet,
you,
the
isn't
meal
it? Yeah.
prepping, because you've got to make sure you're eating right, sleeping right. And so then if you have any form of stress and you don't sleep well, like you said this morning, it'll affect your training that day and your mentality.
Like, thank God I'm not a kickboxer today, because I would be shocking.
But then if you've got that deadline of that fight and you have a bad day in the gym, it affects your mentality because you didn't sleep well and then you didn't train well. And then you think, what if my opponent did an amazing session today? And
it
like
would knock the whole thing.
It's a mental roller coaster. Like, it is it's mentally as tough as it is physically.
Yeah.
Definitely. For me, anyway.
When I talk to athletes and I teach athletes to speak, that's one of the things that often that they talk about is the roller coaster of doing it, is making that decision to go on and do, excuse me, going on to do the next job, going on to do the Olympics, going on to do all of those things. So as a coach in a different field, I totally hear you when you say the biggest success for me isn't necessarily me, although I love it. I love performing on stage. Like, that is my arena.
Yeah,
like
that feeling when it all goes when I walk into the ring. The nerves before, like, you will look. I can imagine how you feel on the stage, and especially when you started. Like, I'd look at you now and think, she doesn't get nervous. Same as you'd look at me now and think, she doesn't get nervous about sparring. It's like, oh, I do. I still do. But as soon as the bell goes, you just switch
in flow. Yeah. And you've done all the preparation. And this is, I say this to, the people that I work with all the time. Actually, if you're really well prepared, yes, you'll feel nervous because you want to do well. You feel nervous because you care. You feel nervous because you're putting your body in a situation your body doesn't realize it's unsafe. Actually, when you get into that situation, you've done everything you possibly can. So your knowledge and your skills will catch you because you've done everything that you need to do in order to get into that spot. But for me, being a coach, to see my clients then go on to do TED Talks, to see my clients go on to fill huge stages, to see them go on to write books, to see them do better than me, earn more than me, it's still a huge satisfaction. The sign of a good teacher is to help teach someone be better than they are. You facilitate the learning and then facilitate them to go on and learn some more. So like, people will move through coaches in my field. They'll come and spend some time with me and get what it is that I teach, and then they'll go to somebody else and learn and I will implore them to go on and do that, because there'll be so much I could teach them within my knowledge space. I'm constantly learning. So the joy that comes, the genuine joy that comes when your coachee, the person who you are coaching, then just goes out and rips it up, that is just as exciting and just as fulfilling as standing on the stage at the end of smashing that talk and kind of standing there and getting the applause. So it's same for you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny, like, talking about public speaking. I did my first public speaking event on International Women's Day.
Yeah, you did. I remember you telling me about it.
It is the same feeling. It absolutely, oh my God, I was more nervous for that. Well, no, I wasn't more nervous for that than I was fighting, but I was very nervous. And you have the physical feeling and the adrenaline. When you get off, you're like buzzing. You're like, oh my God, I just did it. I just did it.
I'm amazing. Everybody clapped
to me. And everybody listened to me. And then everybody started coming over to me and talking to me about my story. And it's the same as when you win a fight. They come over to you and they're like, oh, that was really amazing, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, wow. So actually, what you said about the getting into, like, helping people get into public speaking, and I will do that as well. That's definitely on my goals. There's a reason why I'm trying to speak as much as I can at the moment, get my story out there. I want to write a book. I want to public speak. I have a story to tell and I want people to hear it.
Definitely do. You definitely do. And the thing is, when, from a speaking point of view, which isn't really what we're here to talk about, even though that's what I teach, it's just my area. But there is a hunger out there for athletes to speak. And the reason why there is a hunger out there for athletes to speak is because athletes particularly have a lot of sacrifice, have a lot of things, have a lot of discipline that is very admirable to the layperson. You wouldn't catch me. Well, you wouldn't catch me. I mean, look at size. You wouldn't catch me giving up all of those hours to train.
I've given up. Do it. You said, look at you can still throw a punch. I bet you got a cracking punch. Like,
I'm strong. I bet, but I like make love, not war.
I would be scared. Stay away from my face.
I would definitely stay away from your face. The only time I would hold your face is to give it a big squish when I meet you in real life, because I'm dead proud of you. I'm really proud to know you. Just as an aside, that everybody's loving you this morning. They're saying such lovely things. You've got a cheerleader here, Hannah Clifford. Shout out to you. She's saying Hannah is so gentle and calm. I've never met. How do you two know each other?
She trains with me.
Amazing.
So she did my face-to-face. I don't know where her son is. I live about 5 miles away from her, and it's cloudy here, by the way. So either her son is behind a big cloud, or she got very lucky with the weather.
Yeah, where is your sunshine? I thought you meant where is your actual son? Like, where's your son, Hannah? Look after your child.
Oh, no, her son. Yeah. Her son he's tie up her nose to wake her up. I've already spoken to Hannah today, but yeah, she started face-to-face at the gym. I did a beginner's 8-week course to get women involved in kickboxing, and then I did another one. So she signed up to a couple of face-to-face courses, and now she's signed up with me online as well. And as somebody who hates exercise, she proclaims she is enjoying kickboxing.
Amazing.
And she's inspirational. She's managed to achieve all her weight loss goals with Slimming World as well. So I'm not a Slimming World promoter or anything. No. I actually study nutrition and want to help people with that as a whole. But I will say they have done amazing things for her, and she is a true inspiration to ladies who pick that goal, want to achieve it, work towards it. So she started with her weight loss. Now she's at a happy weight, and she's maintaining it through her diet. Now she's got into kickboxing. She's found a passion for exercise, so she's working on her fitness too.
Yeah, and it's amazing. You know, it's different vehicles for everybody, isn't it? So, you know, if it's particularly weight loss goals that you have, and for some people it is, for some people it isn't. But if for weight loss goals, Slimming World works very, very well for some people, not for others. I think when you find the vehicle for your health and for your well-being that works the best, like kickboxing for you, for me, it is eating abundantly and drinking lots of wine. But when you get the goals, the fitness goals, the health goals right, when you get the vehicle right, really magic things happen, right?
Definitely, yeah. And like you said, it is unique. There isn't an answer for any one individual. Like what I said, kickboxing non-contact, it can be. I can't think of anything worse than only doing a box size class. For myself personally, I'm really missing, and I say this to her often, every few days we message each other, I'm really missing punching you in the face. There's another black belt who I train with, and we go together 9 times out of 10 in class, and we hit each other pretty hard, but we're both,
it's the exchange of energies, I think,
where we wouldn't hit anyone else like it, but we know each other. It's like a dance almost. You flow, like, you know how, and we go up the level, and then if it gets a bit much, we say, right, let's bring it down a little bit, let's not hurt each other today. But we know we trust each other that much that we physically hit each other and kick each other hard, and that's how I like to train. But I understand that not every person wants to do that, and you don't start like that either. So it's about adapting it to what works for you.
But like you say, when it's so, you know, when you're training with people who are also skilled, who you know each other, it is like it's like having a dance partner, having a really great sparring partner. It is when you are I guess it's kind of like speaking with an audience. I'm trying to draw the analogies for me so that I can understand, but it is definitely an exchange of energies, isn't it? I don't just speak to an empty room. I don't just, you know,
you created a community here, and it feels so fantastic to be able to speak here, because I've been watching it myself, and I speak to my own very small community compared to yours, but it's great to be part of something. Like, it's amazing to have this opportunity to speak to you. Like I said, it's like to a celebrity, but
it's like speaking to my mate. I've been following you. I made up. I feel like I'm speaking to a celebrity.
But but I think I don't know where I was going with that. But
that's
anyway,
right.
It's what you create, isn't it? So with regards to, I think the best is that bond. So we've trained together for over 5 years. So when we're having this conversation in 5 years' time, like, we're at this point now, we've known each other maybe 6 months sort of on it. We haven't had a face-to-face conversation ever.
This is our first one.
Live conversation we've had.
Yeah.
In 5 years' time, think of the conversation that we'll have. We'll have all the memories. We'll have 5 years ago when we were in lockdown and you did your first.
I did my telly show. Put myself
now,
on telly.
now I'm inviting you on my morning TV show that's going around. Oprah. Yeah, so and it will be that our relationship will be that much stronger. We'll have that much more conversation to have because it will be 5 years down the line.
Yeah. So. Yeah, absolutely. And I've got no doubt that that will be the case as well, because I am an avid follower and a real admirer of the work that you're doing and the business that you're building as well. It's coming from a real genuine place of, you know, wanting to help people and help people with their health and their mental health. And I've seen you advocate for that mental health side of things as well, which is, you know, a subject, you know, close to my heart. So I've been asking everybody who's been coming onto my show sort of towards the end, given that you work within the athletic field, how have you found this whole COVID-19 situation? How have you found lockdown? Has that had an effect on your business? And what have you done to like counteract it, if anything?
It's completely changed my business. So I was 100% face-to-face and almost technologically illiterate.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have known how to set up Zoom. And I had my part-time income came from working in a pub. So I lost that and I lost the gym overnight. And I sat home for a few days thinking, oh shit, I'm going to start. I'm going to have no money. What am I going to do? What can I apply? And then I was like, actually, no, I need to get online for the small group of ladies that I currently have. I need to do it for them. So they were the ones that spurred me to overcome that fear of technology, if that's a thing. But it is a thing.
It definitely is a thing.
Definitely. And I was like, well, I know I can coach kickboxing, but how on earth can I do it through my crap phone? I have an S6. I don't even have an S8 or anything. An S6. Yeah. Who has an S6? I run my classes through that, and I will upgrade it soon. But so I offered it free for a few sessions and just to test it out, get feedback from them. I had about 3 women there.
Giving it to test your sensibility around it as well, I guess. You don't think it's going to deliver.
And then I was like, no, I can do this. So I started to put a package together and I met a guy who developed my website for me. And if anybody wants his details, I'll happily give them to you. It's fantastic, my website. I'm so happy with it. I love it.
I'd love you to share it. Please do share it in the comments on this so that people can like kind of find
couldn't have done it without him. So I developed this online. It's a monthly membership website. And with it, you get 3 classes per week live on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evening at 7:00. And I record 3 workouts a week. So I've got a whole library now because I've been doing it for 5 weeks. I've got 15 workouts on there ready to go to do in your own time at home. Plus there's a private members only Facebook group for support. And I've been really busy actually. Like you said, I'm constantly promoting what I do, trying to get as many women involved as possible if they want to find a way to work out from home. Doing something different.
Like having the tenacity to pivot in that way is what has kept so many people's businesses afloat. Now, I am very, very aware. I work in the performance space as well. The other strand to my business is singing, and that whole leg of my business got kicked out. There was no other way of me really earning money, I guess, from singing. I could sing in lots of places. So I'm singing for, you know, a charity on Friday. I did Dani right at the beginning of lockdown. So I did lots of things where I could sing, but not necessarily get paid to sing. And I was really grateful that I had an online model that actually has generated far more income than my singing ever did anyway, but has been able to maintain, you know, finances for me for lockdown and beyond, you know, having that ability. I'm so grateful. And sometimes I get a bit of survivor's guilt. I'm like, okay, hell, I've got this online model, but having so many people right now are missing a trick, aren't they? And I think that if you've got a product or a service that is demonstrable, that you can show people, that you can share, that you can teach, actually, if you're not capitalizing on that right now, you are missing a massive trick. So the fact that you got in there, you know, straight away and started building this, that's going to lay a foundation for you to grow and scale and scale and scale. So now you don't just have to do so maybe it's even giving you a push to do something on a bigger scale, or that has the potential.
Definitely. And I'm not going to stop online. I am going to go back to face-to-face. I'm going to combine the two. And I've got plans. So again, I'm not keeping them secret. They're not finalized, but I want to use it to travel around the country. I want to use it so that, like how you do with your speaking, but I can come and do kickboxing seminars all around. So not necessarily just kickboxing, but kickboxing and well-being. So get other guest speakers involved. And other guests kind of all in the health and well-being sector, but I can use it to go meet these ladies all around the country.
So then Fighting Fit becomes the brand that you then take around, and then people can access it in a number of different ways. And
so that
was important.
Train online. So now it's accessible to anybody, anywhere, because it's online. Everybody has access. And in a way, I think it will suit some women better than having to get out the house and go to the gym for that 1.5 hour session, but you have to travel there and back. It's at least 2 hours. Who's going to look after the children? Do you want to dedicate 2 hours to it? It's like, no, we do a 30 to 45 minute quick, fun, effective workout at home. No travel, saving you time and money, but getting the same benefits, keeping connected to other women and keeping active together. So I think I've got this platform that I can promote to, well, obviously I love it. Help.
Yeah, I can tell. Like, I love it. I love it too.
Help other women get involved with the sport that I love.
Yeah.
And then eventually I can use it, because face-to-face is better. It is better to physically punch something. But
the physical exchange of energies, right?
So I'll have to arrange like mini seminars and that, where they actually get to come and kickbox.
Yeah. Amazing.
Other amazing things, because I've met so many amazing ladies and I want to meet them all face-to-face. And you're one of them. Definitely.
Well, you need to come along to Be Inspired in September, because I am absolutely tunnel visioned. I know, I feel it in my bones that the 10th of September is still going to be on. So Be Inspired is I do an event twice a year where lots of my graduates come and speak. It's really inspirational. It's a celebration event. It's incredible networking. And I feel like we're going to frame lockdown. So we had our last event on the 27th of February, just before everything stopped. And then, on the 10th of September, people are saying, "Oh, is it still going ahead?" It's still going ahead. And if it doesn't go ahead, then it's the first Thursday that we're allowed. So it's all still going ahead. So you've got to come to Be Inspired. You've got to come see, because I want to give you a big consensual squish and say thank you for your friendship and for your support and for being such an incredible member of the IATQB Hive as well, because you do provide a lot of inspiration in there as well. So, my darling, before you go, I just want to say thank you so much. If you've got one thing that you want to say to the people that are listening this morning and on replay, what would you like to tell them?
Give kickboxing a go. To all the women that hate exercise, that's absolutely fine, but try and keep active. Find something that you do enjoy. Don't just, because I've been there a long time ago now, and I still have days where I hate exercise. I openly admit I hate running. I don't enjoy doing press-ups. I don't enjoy exercise. I enjoy the feeling that it makes me feel when it's complete. I do enjoy kickboxing. I don't enjoy exercise. So if you hate exercise, go for a walk. Maybe try something different. Make yourself try yoga. You might love it. If you don't like it, then don't do it again. But there will be something out there that you do enjoy doing, and do it for your mental health as well as your physical. So that's what I always promote. But it's not necessarily enjoyable at the time, but the rewarding feeling that you get afterwards, it is worth persevering with. Once you start achieving those goals, and this is why it helps to have a coach, because otherwise if you aimlessly exercise, it can feel crap and you don't get anywhere. So if you have somebody to help you set those goals and you start achieving them, that's when you really start to feel great.
Yeah. Amazing.
A go.
Yeah, okay, why not? Yeah. So one of my friends, another PT, one of her sayings is, exercise isn't a tool with which to beat yourself up. It's not something that you do. You can't hate yourself healthy. You can't hate what you're doing to the point where it makes you feel great. You've got to love what it is that you do and find the right vehicle for you. So even if it is going out for a walk and utilizing that 1 hour a day, or that one exercise going outside thing a day, you do it. You utilize it if you're able to. So thank you so much for coming on this morning. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. I'm going to pop you backstage and wrap things up in here. If you want to stick around for a chat afterwards, you can. So I'm just going to put you backstage. So thank you, Jessica, for joining us this morning. Give us some love in the comments, you guys. Give us some likes and some loves. And there we go. That was Wednesday. So thank you so much for joining us this morning, you guys. If you do want to know more about Jessica Fleischer and Fighting Fit, she will be putting her website details into the comments of this thread, so you'll be able to check her out and follow her and see what she's getting up to next, and even get involved if you want to. So we've got some incredible guests coming up. All of my guests have been incredible so far. We are now booked up into the end of June, which I can't believe. We've got just so many wonderful, wonderful people, from style through to business, through to mental health, through to members of the LGBTQ community, talking about advocacy. We've got people with disabilities coming on, talking about, again, advocacy and disabilities. We've got on tomorrow, we've got Shell Shower. He's going to be joining us talking all things style. And on Friday, don't miss Friday, we've got the fabulous Dave McPartlin from Flake Primary School, who was on Britain's Got Talent. I should know this. He was either last year or the year before. He was the head teacher that did the Don't Stop Me Now performance with the kids from his school, and he's gone on to do some just wonderful things since then. He's been a guest expert on the television very regularly. He's also one of the BBC Bite Size teachers. So if you've got kids that are going through the BBC Bite Size process from the BBC, you will see him on the 9 to 11. He does part of the teaching there. So we've got him on Friday morning talking all things education and talking about, you know, how we can be supporting the kids whilst we are on lockdown. Because, you know, I am not going to lie about the fact that even I've been finding it difficult. You know, like homeschooling is difficult. And I think, you know, hearing from the experts about cutting ourselves some slack is pretty important. And I want to share that with you. He's also a top sort. Like, he is a proper chap. So I'm excited to share him with you on Friday. So join us tomorrow for Shell's Show It. We're talking all things style. We're getting stylish. I might even put my makeup on before the live tomorrow. I feel like I should be turning up for Shell tomorrow. And then on Friday, of course, we've got Dave McPartlin. I've also got some other celebs cooking for you. We've got some soap stars, we've got some pop stars, we've got some radio stars, and some television stars that are going to be popping up through the weeks as well. Lots of exciting stuff in the pipeline for the show at Rise Up Show. Thank you for sharing the journey with me so far, and I will see you tomorrow. If you're not a member of the IATQB, however you want to come hang out with us for the conversations afterwards and to join the network, please just put Hive in the comments and we will pop you over, or just search IATQB Hive and we will welcome you in with open arms and give you a big virtual and consensual squish. All right, you guys, take care. Have an incredible day. Let's get over the hump together. And I'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock.